What's going on? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World and the Black Business School, and I'm hoping for a second that you guys are having a great day, and I hope that your life is as wonderful as it should be. Um, I, I woke up today, and I normally don't like to go live or do my podcast first thing in the morning because it kind of ends up draining me actually because there's it takes a lot of energy and my mind gets to racing and all that. But today I kind of wanted to talk about some stuff that I saw today that just really kind of had me going. What's up, Cram and Ishmael and Jackson and India, Donetta? How you doing, Donetta? Good to see you too. Croy Thompson and David McManus and Hoodie 61 and Mo Magic 686 and J Rock 6311. What's happening? Okay, so yeah, so here's the thing. Here's what got me kind of curious this morning. A couple things. So I'm in DC, right? I'm here for the Black Men's Convention. In case you don't know what's happening, Malik Shabazz is getting down with that. It's extraordinary. He's a great leader, smart Black man. And I'll speak tonight. I'm going to unveil a national economic plan for Black America tonight, 6 p.m. Shiloh Baptist Church. You can go to blackmensconvention.org if you want to know more. That's blackmensconvention.org. And then I'll be in St. Louis this weekend. You can go to drboycestlouis.com if you want to go to that, or you can go to abncdigital.com and you can just kind of watch videos of a lot of the stuff that I do. Anyway, so with that said, so I'm sitting here and I noticed this with the news cycle. So I got to clear my throat. One of the things about the news cycle that's really interesting, and really actually even almost like a little bit disturbing if you're a person that gets disturbed about things like this, is that stories tend to have a very short, shelf life. We tend to talk about the issue for maybe a couple of days. And then we kind of move on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one. So something will be really big. Like, for example, a few days ago, people were talking about like the Bill Cosby trial, and then people kind of stopped talking about it. Or the Harvard law student who was beaten up by the police earlier this week. People have already stopped talking about it, and the weekend even over yet. I think with Starbucks, I think that we're going to not be talking about Starbucks next week. I think people will be back to drinking their Starbucks coffee. Now, mind you, I got some coffee, but it ain't Starbucks. It's this this damn Hampton Inn coffee. And, so there you go. It is what it is, right? I had to rip up my Starbucks card on video, so I was mad as hell about that. But but you got to do what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to boycott together, right? So anyway, I decided to go back and sort of look and see, like, so what's happened in these stories? Like, what are the updates on these stories? What's going on with the Harvard student? What's going on with Bill Cosby? What's going on with Starbucks? So I did these, I did this little basic research, and I decided to kind of chime you in on what's been going on. And I was really, really sort of, blown away by the updates in the Cosby case. I'm gonna tell you like this: Bill Cosby, I don't know how much money he's got left, because they whatever he didn't give away, they took it. Because that lady that he's on trial for allegedly assaulting. She got $4 million, and then he gave Spellman $20 million. Now y'all talking about Beyonce giving $100,000 to 4 schools. That's really nice, but that's not a heavyweight gift. Cosby and his wife gave the heavyweight gift, which was $20 million to HBCUs. No celebrity does that today. All these celebs talking about they got billions of dollars. They could get together and shore up every HBCU in America tomorrow if they wanted to. They just don't care. They know that they can get you with the symbolism. So why go for anything that's real when the fake shit does, is just as effective, right? So, but make no mistake about it, though. I think Beyonce's symbolic gestures to support HBCUs are effective and meaningful. I would just hope that, we get some celebs that will make some 7-figure donations. If you're really a baller like that, you're really on top like that, you're really making money like that, you should be giving 7-8-figure endowments to the institutions you believe in, and I don't think that philanthropy is really big in the Black community. I also think that when Black people do engage in philanthropy, they're not usually aiming that money toward black people. They're aiming it. They're doing like Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre gave, I think, $35 million to USC, which is a school that literally spends that much money in a week. Whereas he could have saved he could have literally shored up, 5 strong HBCUs for the next 100 years with that kind of gift. But I'm not going to get into that too much because that's his money. I can't count his money. But I think it's important that as we celebrate, little gifts, Beyonce gave 100,000. That's really cute. That's really nice. But Cosby and his wife gave 20 million. And actually that was $1988. Y'all don't know this, but actually in 2018, that would be equivalent to a celebrity giving $42 million to an HBCU. $42 million. So anybody who really wants to go out here, flossing and pretending like they got all this money, or talking about how they really down for the cause, or talking about how they really woke and all this other stuff, and you're supposed to be a billionaire, then make a billionaire heavyweight gift. Match Cosby's 42 million, or at least do 4 million, do 10% of that. My God, but don't talk too much shit about other celebrities like a Cosby, or everybody distances themselves from Cosby, which, maybe that's partly okay, but you can't sort of, hold him completely accountable for the bad things he might have done and not give his family credit for the good things they did, that none of these celebrities are even bold enough to even consider doing to this day. So anyway, let me get back to it. I'm going to quit talking about it because I don't want y'all to think I'm talking bad about Beyonce and Jay-Z. I had a long 2-hour conversation with Beyonce's tour manager, and and the whole conversation was that, they were telling me years ago, they said, you got it wrong. Beyonce and Jay are very conscious and stuff like that. And I said, well, if they're conscious people, they should show that in their music. They shouldn't just say they're conscious. They should, be conscious, whatever that means for them. So anyway, so with Cosby, here's the thing with Cosby. This really, kind of blew my mind. So I'm reading the New York Times, and check this out. So there's a woman on the stand named Marguerite Jackson, who testified basically as a witness on behalf of the defense. And Marguerite basically says that the lady who's accusing Cosby made it all up. She's basically saying that she told her. She said, we went on a trip. This lady, she said we were together, staying in the same hotel on a road trip with the Temple women's basketball team. And she admitted to me, she confessed to me. First, she told me the lie. She said, first she told me that she'd been assaulted by a celebrity. Then later on, I guess they got comfortable. I don't know if they were having drinks or if they were sitting there just talking. And she claims that Andrea Constand told her, like, look, I actually made all that up. And she basically said that it was about the money, that she, was talking about how much money she'd have, that she could quit her job, things like that. I mean, that is, you can think about it. I mean, I'm not saying that, I don't know what's true and what's not, because nobody knows what's true in this case. But, imagine that. Imagine if you could simply say, somebody grabbed my titties, or if you were a guy, you say, somebody grab my testicles and get $4 million. Because somebody grabbed your testicles. I mean, I know a lot of people who get grabbed for free, right? Can you imagine getting grabbed one time and then being able to say, like, I can quit my job now, I have $4 million in the bank? I'm not saying that that's what's going on. What I'm saying is that is a very tempting motive. I mean, if you're looking for motive, the money is the motive. Like they said in the song, the money is the motive. I think Lil Wayne said that. Look, here I am quoting Lil Wayne. But seriously, like, money is a motivator for many things. People get killed over money. People conquer territories over money. People lie for money. People manipulate for money. So what I think is interesting is that she's introducing this idea, Marguerite is, that she's basically like, look, I talked to this lady. This lady said to me that it didn't happen. That basically she knows how much money she could get if she takes this case to court. And that's what she's doing. Now, here's what's interesting. Okay, so what's fascinating about this is this. Look, now, if you're going through this, now you first ask yourself a basic question, right? Is this a person that has credibility? This Marguerite Jackson, is she a person that that can be believable by a jury, or is she just somebody off the street who might be making stuff up? Okay, legitimate question. Marguerite has worked at Temple University for 31 years. She's mature. She's older. She has an established and impeccable record with the university of being very consistent, very reliable, very trustworthy. She also didn't speak up about any of this until 2016 because she said that she didn't know. I'm trying to remember what the New York Times article said, but I think that they basically said that she didn't come forward because she didn't really know who to get in touch with to tell the story, or she had mentioned it to somebody and somebody said, well, you can get in touch with Cosby's people. I know Cosby's people. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but here's what's fascinating about this. Here's what's interesting, right? What's fascinating to me is that it appears that part of Cosby's defense team has learned how to fight bullshit with what could also be defined as bullshit. They've learned to counter the prosecution's bullshit with their own version of bullshit, right? Like, evil bullshit against good bullshit. Whichever side is good or evil, it's up to you to decide which side you're on. Now, why are they countering bullshit with bullshit? Let me tell you why they're countering bullshit with bullshit. In this case, with Marguerite, the woman who's saying that Andrea Constand, was making it all up and that Andrea told her this, what proof do they have that Andrea told her this? Was there a witness? No witnesses. You have a recording. You got to have a recording. My God, how can you make such a damning allegation without a recording? No recording. Okay, so what did you have? Did she write it down? She had to write that shit down. There's no, because my God, this could undermine the entire case. So did she write it down? No, she didn't write it down. Video? No video, no nothing. Just me, just my word of mouth, just me making a damning allegation 15 years later that can't be proven by anybody. But you know what? Y'all been doing this throughout this whole damn Me Too movement. Y'all been doing this all throughout this Cosby case. All y'all have been doing is piling up random allegations from anybody off the street who says Bill Cosby drugged me and touched me in 1975. Give me part of that. Yeah, I need $5 million of that fund that y'all putting together. Give me $5 million because Cosby touched me. I was tempted. I said, man, I could use some money. Can I get? Maybe I can, say Bill Cosby is a little gay and he touched my ass in 1985. Like, really. So basically, they're like, look, well, wait, why would you not believe her? She's a woman and she said it's true, so it must be true. We've thrown out the rule of law. We've thrown out proof. We've thrown out evidence. We've thrown all that out. So basically, whatever a woman says that somebody did years ago, it must be true. Now, in most cases, it's a woman. It might be a white woman's allegation against a man, right? But in this case, it's a black woman. It's okay, though. The whole Me Too movement, it affects everybody. And in this case, she's not accusing a man, but she's accusing Andrea Constand, who's pretty close to being a man. I don't know if y'all seen her face, but that woman literally looks like Colin Kaepernick. She literally made me question, like, does Bill Cosby like transvestites? Like, what's going on? Because that is not I ain't trying to talk about it too much, but my God, have you seen this woman? Right? So you're literally like, so Bill, you threw it all away for that? Like, now Camille's a beautiful woman. I could see Bill, putting the whole fortune on the line for Camille Cosby, because that's a gorgeous black woman back in the day. That's black love. I would throw it all away for a black woman, a beautiful black woman like that. My woman that I got, if you ask me to sign it all over right now, I might be tempted to pick up that pen. But Andrea Constand, like, if I saw her, I'd be like, hey, dude, let's go play some basketball. Like, I'd want her on my basketball team or something because she's tall and she's strong. She's got the broad shoulders and looks like she could block some shots. Like I might want her for that. I wouldn't want her for love, right? So just when she got revealed, I think that made it very weird for people. People were like, what's happening, Bill? Like, you could have saved more HBCUs. You could have been out here doing the good work for black folks, but you probably got, let's just be real. Cosby's probably paid $30-40 million to a lot of people, to cover up things that he might have actually done. I mean, I don't know if he did these things or not, because you never know, right? Sometimes people pay stuff off just to make it go away. Some people pay people off because they because they trying to really cover up some evil deeds that they've committed to. But I tell you what, I remember when Cosby's own daughter, his illegitimate daughter, if I'm not mistaken, I got to look this story up to make sure I'm right, she blackmailed him and said, I want money from you. I think she wasn't even asking for no white woman money. I think she was asking for just a few $100,000, maybe $1 million. And Cosby, if I'm not mistaken, Cosby literally was so adamant against giving her anything that he called the popos on himself. He called the police, like not the police, he revealed himself to the public. He told everybody about what was going on. He brought in, I think, the FBI. He's like, go arrest this bitch because she's trying to take my money. He didn't say that, but that was his mindset, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, so this is your own daughter, and you wouldn't give her nothing, but you got these white women lined up around the block, just writing checks like crazy. This she-man from 2004 who's making an unproven allegation against you gets 3.8 million, but your daughter probably couldn't even get 3.8 thousand. I don't understand it. And then the other thing too is that, I would have loved to have seen that money go to worthy causes. I mean, it just really, I'm just telling you, look, every man who's watching, every brother who's watching this, please learn how to control your penis, man. Seriously, don't you understand? Your penis is a source of power and pleasure. God bless you if you have a nice, what. I'm not gonna say that word because I don't want to cuss this early in the morning. But but you know what, man? Do you understand how much trouble a man's penis has gotten him into over time? Men have ruined entire empires because they couldn't control their penis. Men have lost it all because they couldn't control their penis. They have ended up in prison because they could not control their penis. So, learn, if you're going to learn a lesson from this, this is really me talking to the men right now. If you're going to learn a lesson from this, just know that if a man can't have discipline about what he does sexually, they'll knock you off their perch and beat you upside your head with a nail-studded baseball bat and take everything you got and humiliate you in public and tar and feather you and drag you through the street like you are a damn rapist. That's the world that we live in right now. You need to tell that to your sons when they go off to college and they want to do like Bill Cosby and go chasing all the white girls. Like, just for real. Like, you go up in there with that girl, with that white girl, and you drunk and she's drunk and y'all do something or whatever, all she got to do is go to the cops and say, he raped me. They will arrest you, humiliate you, force you to drop out of school, and cost you $10,000 plus your reputation before they even begin the investigation, before they even begin to look into whether or not the allegations actually true. That's how much power the words of a white woman have in this society. So, seriously, you look at Tiger Woods, on top of the world, penis got him in trouble. Next thing you know, he's looking like a bomb. Legacy destroyed. Bill Cosby, top of the world, penis got him with the wrong situations. Next thing you know, Bill Cosby's going to die miserable, embarrassed, humiliated old man. 60, 70 years of hard work that he spent building a legacy, gone, vanished, poof, like it never happened. O.J. Simpson used to be on top of the world, got in some weird situations with his penis. Next thing you know, OJ's looking crazy. He's looking as ridiculous as Flavor Flav. So what I'm saying is overall, you have to be thoughtful about who you let into your space. You can't just go. Don't you understand that there are literally, and I'm not saying this lady Andrea Constand's in this category. I don't know her like that. I personally think when she took the 3.88 million, back in the day and signed the confidentiality agreements that went with it, that should have been the end of it. That should have been the end of it. My God, you're so lucky. You won the lotto. You got $3.8 million because somebody grabbed you, allegedly. Let's assume Cosby did grab her titties or whatever. Like, okay, that's wrong. You don't be grabbing titties. You shouldn't do that, right? But 3.88 million for your trouble. You signed the agreement saying that you're okay with that transaction. It should have been done back then. Why are we back in court years later? It doesn't make any sense to me. Why are they prosecuting things after the statute of limitations is over? Doesn't make any sense to me. So all of that. But I'm just telling you, you know, when I look at Cosby, I sit here and I get so disappointed. You know, not because I expect anybody to be perfect, but Cosby spent a lot of years pretending to be perfect. He pretended that he had the moral high ground on everyone on earth. He literally remember when Lisa Bonet did that movie where she was having sex in the middle of a pile of blood or something crazy like that. I ain't even seen that movie. I heard it's good. I think it's called Angel Heart or something. I heard it's a good movie. But I don't want to see people having sex in the middle of a bunch of, or having sex with the devil or something crazy that she did. But remember, Cosby gave her a really hard time about that. Oh, you're being amoral and blah 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 blah. Shut up! Come on, seriously, dude. Like, it's like when Eddie Murphy. Remember Eddie Murphy said that Richard Pryor told him to tell Bill Cosby, you know, tell Bill I said have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up, right? You know, so I think that with Cosby, you know, he always pretended to be this Mr. Rogers kind of dude, you know, like yeah, well, everybody should be moral like me, and you know, you're supposed to do this right and do that right. And my thing is, dude, you know, I mean, you ain't got to be perfect, but he had a big wide margin of error. I mean, just, you know, there are some guys where you cheat on your wife once or twice, people are going to make you into a pariah. Like that, you know, that then she can go to court and say he broke my heart and cheated on me and I want half of his stuff and he doesn't have a right to see his kids. And there would literally be people saying, that's right, girl, he shouldn't have cheated. You know, right? Your man can cheat one time and lose it all. Lose it all. Again, penis discipline. If you ain't ready to have a disciplined penis, then you probably shouldn't get married, because you get married, you cheat. Next thing you know, they're taking everything you got. That's the world we live in. It is what it is. But Cosby had, like, it seemed like a woman every week. I mean, it was just very strange to me. I didn't know, you know, I didn't know that you could get married and just have as many women as you would, more women than you would have if you're single. Most single men don't get to sleep with as many women as Cosby slept with as a married man. And here this man selling Jello pudding pops on TV, pretending to be perfect. So I'm not saying it. You know, when I speak on this, when I lay out my little rhetoric on what's going on, I'm not putting Bill Cosby on a pedestal as some stellar human being. He's not. He's not. You know, but I do think a couple of things. One, you know, forget all these celebrities that are giving $20 to HBCUs. Like, they're doing that for symbolism, just to get black folks, you know, on their side. Cosby and his wife made a real donation that really had an impact on Spelman College. Spelman ain't never wanted to give that money back to Cosby, but they took his name off the buildings, but they never said, well, we're gonna write you a check for $20 million because your money is dirty money, sir. No, they didn't do that. Temple University wanted to destroy his legacy and get rid of him and act like he never existed, but they didn't write no check to give back all those millions he gave those schools. You know, so when it came to really, you know, putting his money where his mouth was, Cosby is one of the celebrities who did that. Most of your celebrities today won't do that. So even when you look at some of the, you know, the Oprahs or the Beyoncés or whomever, anybody out here who's famous and doing well, who would distance themselves from a Cosby for legitimate reasons, I think we should ask them, like, well, as you criticize him, are you going to match what he did? Are you going to replace what he left behind? You know, because Oprah could give Cosby level donations if she wanted to. I don't think she cares enough about the HBCUs to do that. I think she cares about black people. I'm not saying Oprah doesn't care about black folks, but Oprah really, you know, she cares probably more about white folks. You know, that's kind of her lane. That's where she lives. So anyway, so let me check and read a little bit more. Here's another interesting twist on this. So, in case you just got in, the bombshell in the Cosby case is that Marguerite Jackson said Andrea Constand, this is according to the New York Times, that basically she made up the allegations against Cosby. She told her, I guess, in confidence that that it didn't happen, that, you know, Cosby never did whatever he did, and that she was in it for the money. So what I'm doing is read some of this to you. Don't forget, I'm in DC. I'm speaking, so you guys know, I'm speaking tonight at Shiloh Baptist Church at 6 p.m. You can go to blackmensconvention.org to learn more. I'll be in St. Louis this weekend, Friday and Saturday. You can go to drboycestlouis.com if you want to check that out too. All right. So Bill Cosby star defense witness, a veteran academic advisor who works at his alma mater, Temple University, testified here Wednesday that the woman who has accused Mr. Cosby of sexual assault had once remarked to her how it would be easy to fabricate such a charge to frame a celebrity and get money. The advisor, Marguerite Jackson, said Andrea Constand, who was once the director of operations for Temple's women's basketball team, made the comment while they were watching television in a hotel room they shared on a trip by the team for a game in Rhode Island. Quote, she said it did not happen, Miss Jackson told the jury at the Montgomery courthouse. Miss Constant testified this week that while Miss Jackson's name sounded familiar, she had always roomed alone on trips. But from the witness stand here, Miss Jackson said she has shared a room with Miss Constant for away games on 2 or 3 occasions. So 2 or 3 times they shared a room. Now, you know, it's interesting too. You know, you really wonder if there's like a dynamic here, right? You know, there's a lot. You know, people are across the board when it comes to sexuality. Andrea Constand looks gay. She doesn't look like she's somebody that is trying to get up every day to attract a man. So again, that's what made confuse me about the whole thing with Cosby. But you know, you never know. Maybe this, perhaps this woman is a scorned lover. You know, there could have been a little relationship. At the very least, they were girlfriends. They were cool because they shared a room 2 or 3 times, and no telling what happened in that room or why they were sharing a room or what their closeness was. But the reason I bring that up as a possibility is because, you know, that's how people get caught by the cops. Actually, my dad was a cop for 25 years, and he said in many occasions that a lot of crimes are uncovered, if you will. Investigations are completed because there was somebody who used to date the person who committed the crime, and in the middle of pillow talk, they fessed up, like, yeah, you know, I shot the motherfucker. I know I cussed. I'm sorry. You know, yeah, I shot him because he made me mad, but don't tell nobody, right? So you tell that to your girl because you're in the bed together and everybody's feeling good, and then she sees you with another woman later on, or the relationship falls apart. Next thing you know, the person's in the police station saying, you know, this is what he did, right? And that's why I tell everybody, I just tell you like straight up, like, look, number one, don't kill nobody. Like, don't ever commit a crime. Like, be good. But if you decide to not be good, if you decide to go kill somebody, take that shit to the grave with your ass. Like, don't tell nobody. Don't break down and have a confessional with your woman or with your man. Don't do it. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. I have never killed anybody. But even if I had killed somebody, I still would tell you I've never killed anybody because I ain't telling nobody. I will not tell. I love my woman. My woman's awesome, but I will never. If I kill somebody and bury the body, she ain't gonna know about it. Nobody will know about it. Boyce is gonna know about it, and that'll be enough. Because Boyce might snitch on Boyce. I gotta watch him. All right. So anyway, let me keep going. So, let's see. Miss Constant testified this week that Oh, wait, let me keep going. Okay. Here we go. But from the witness stand here, Miss Jackson says she had shared a room with Miss Constant for away games on 2 or 3 occasions. One time in February 2004. Let's see. She said Miss Constant told her she had been assaulted by a celebrity after seeing a clip on television about another unnamed star who had been so accused. So she said first she told her, you know, this is the lady that's accusing Cosby. First, she told Marguerite that she'd been assaulted because they were watching it on TV, and then she said, "Let's check this out." Miss Jackson testified that Miss Constant then changed her story and told her that it actually didn't happen after all. Quote: She said, "No, it didn't. I could say it did." Listen, she said this, and this is where she gave the quote. She said, "No, it didn't. I could say it did. I could quit my job. I could get that money," Miss Jackson recalled. Now, again, that sounds like if she's making that statement up, because again, money is the motive. Money's always on. So let's say Cosby's people paid this lady off. You know, this lady, Miss Jackson, who actually has a stellar reputation. She's 56 years old. She's a 31-year employee at Temple. She now works as an academic advisor in the College of Music. She was I think she was part of the operations for the basketball team back then, or the head of operations. If I'm not mistaken, I looked this up. But so this woman has a great reputation. So let's say that they did pay her off. Well, the problem is with these cases, you just don't know. You just don't know because everybody's flinging around unproven bullshit. And so money is a driving factor in so many things. This is why it's fascinating to be a finance professor, because when I really started thinking about it, I started thinking about how money shapes our world in so many ways. It shapes people's motivations. It shapes what our politicians do. It shapes what a single mom does every morning when she wakes up. It might shape who she chooses to have a relationship with. It shapes how men go about their lives on a daily basis. Like money is huge in your life. That's why it's important to understand money. So if you haven't joined the Black Business School, make sure you go join the Black Business School, because we can teach you all about money so you can manage your life more effectively. But it's fascinating because basically, there's nothing they can do to prove that she's lying. There's nothing they can do, because so what has happened with with the Me Too stuff and all, which started as a well-intended campaign, because we know sexual harassment is real, sexual assault is real, it needs to be stopped. We know that powerful men get away with bad things all the time, but what's happened is you have a blanket indictment of any powerful man where there is somebody out here that has a vendetta against him. Like somebody literally could come up, and somebody I've never met could come out and just say, I was with Boyce Watkins in 1997, and we were in a room, and he squeezed my thigh and and his thumb hit my vagina, and I looked at him and said, "Why did your thumb hit my vagina?" And Boyce said, "Ha ha, because I just want to put my thumb in that coochie." Right? Like somebody could literally say that, and I would just come back and say that's not true. I don't know this person. There's no proof. But then there are people that will say, we know it. We got you. You're a sexual harasser. You're a predator. You are a predator, sir. Right? That's the world you live in, and it's stupid. It is stupid. It is just stupid. Stupid. So basically, she's got this statement. Even I'm looking at her statement, and I'm like that just sounds like such bullshit, right? I'm looking at this statement. I'm like, so she's quoting her. Literally, all the bells and whistles and buzz terms are in here, almost like the statement could, if it was planned, it's like exactly what the defense wants to hear, right? She said, "No, I didn't. I could say it did. I could quit my job. I could get that money," right? It sounds so stereotypical. It's like I'm gonna get you, sucker, right? Like it sounds real, like almost like out of a movie, but they can't prove that it's wrong. So basically, Cosby's defense, it seems that like part of their strategy might be, we're gonna take the same bullshit you're slinging at us, and we're gonna sling it back at you. And because here's what happened. Check this out. So the first thing that they're saying, the prosecutions, they're like, "But can you prove it? You can't prove it." Well, they're like, "Well, you can't prove your shit either. Can you prove it? Okay, so if you prove it, we'll prove it. But you ain't proved nothing, so we ain't proved nothing." So that's the first thing, right? So like made up shit is countered with made up shit, right? You tell me you saw a flying pig, I'm gonna tell you I saw a 2-year-old baby dunk a basketball, right? You can't prove what you see. Your claim, I can't prove mine. So now we're on even playing fields. Second thing, check this out. This is what's interesting. This is what fascinates me. I'm reading the New York Times article. Second question they asked her is, they said, "Well, if this were true, then why did you wait so long to come forward?" Right? What? If this were true, then why did you wait so long before you came forward and told anybody? Isn't that the question that we've been asking about all these allegations since the very beginning? Isn't that the question that everybody's been asking? All the people lining up with Gloria Allred with a box of Kleenex talking about what Bill Cosby allegedly did in 1976? That's the question I've been asking since the beginning. If it happened, why did you wait so long to come forward? It doesn't make any sense. Now, we know that it could make sense, right? Like, we know that things happen. We know Cosby was a powerful man. So it would have been hard to take Cosby down back in the day. A lot of people have beefs with Cosby. That's what all this is. All this ain't nothing but chickens coming home to roost for that man. That man has angered everyone. He has disrespected so many people. I remember years ago, my friends in Philadelphia, Michael Eric Dyson and Mark Lamont Hill. I remember them trying to debate Cosby back on the things he said about black people back in the day. And Cosby was very dismissive, very disrespectful. And those are just the enemies he has in Philly in the black community. My God, I can't imagine how many enemies he's made in Hollywood, right? So the thing is, though, that we know Cosby was powerful. We know he had a lot of money. We know his influence was huge, and we know that the police didn't really prosecute crimes against women the way they should have. Women are not protected. Let's just make sure that's clear. You know, I have a very good friend who has burns all over her body because her mama called the police when she was a baby and said, if you don't come get this man, he's going to kill me. And the police didn't take it seriously. So one day the man threw gasoline on her while she was holding the baby and set them both on fire. Her mother died. She survived, but she has burns all over her body. And it makes me angry because these are the real stories that women are going through that are not being taken seriously or not being properly investigated, because everybody who has a vendetta against a man is stepping forward and saying, oh, well, he touched my thigh in 1974, so I need to get $1 million for that. Like seriously, like it doesn't make it, you know. So the thing is that we know all these dynamics, right? But you just can't do that. You can't come forward 30 years later and expect that to be treated as if you have something that happened last night, or you can't come forward with no evidence and act like it's the same as if you do have evidence. You can't come forward and say somebody touched my ass, you know, and act like that's the same as being raped. Touching an ass is wrong, but rape is worse, because there are lots of people, you don't talk about rape, there are people in prison getting raped right now every single day because they were falsely accused of a crime that they did not commit. So you're trading a one fake rape with thousands of real rapes. And nobody cares because it's usually happening to men, and nobody also cares because it's happening to black men. So I think that with this whole thing, I think it's just dandy and quite fascinating to see them counter the prosecution by bringing their own version of bullshit. Like literally, I would look at it like, okay, so you're saying this? I mean, that's just hearsay. You could get anybody off the street who's going to say whatever. But check this out. So the lady, as they're going up, but so even though I would counter it, even though I would say, well, I don't think that this is credible, it doesn't matter. You're living in a world of make believe. You're living in this courtroom is like it's as fake as a cartoon right now. No, there's nothing being presented anywhere in this case that I have seen that can actually be proven. Not once have they actually. I asked this on Facebook. I said we've heard the allegations against Cosby. I said, what has anybody presented any proof of anything? Like, where is there any proof? Does proof not matter? Is that, but people are like, well, no, because if you have allegations of, yeah, but proof has to mean something, and you can't actually create a conspiracy. If you get, a bunch of people who need money, which ain't hard to find. I mean, look at the women. I mean, some of the women that Cosby allegedly got with, they were some, they were some like ragamuffin type people. Like they literally were like drug addicted prostitutes. A couple of, so I mean, would it be hard for me to go out here on the street in DC? And I'm not too far from Howard University. I heard that that's a tough neighborhood. And let's say I went out here and I said, I went to a couple pimps and said, look, I need you to get me about 10 women, and we're gonna come and we're gonna have a huddle. And I need all of you to say that this man assaulted you in some way. Will you please do that? I'll give all of y'all $100 a piece if you come and make up this story. Or if we got to go to court, I'll give you $10,000. How about this? Let's make it real money. I'll give everybody $10,000 if all of you will come forward and say that this man raped you or this man touched you. And but make sure it happened far enough in the past that they're never going to ask for a rape kit. There's not going to be any proof, right? All we need is to ruin him. All we need is speculation. All we need is to plant seeds of doubt. All we need is for people to not want to watch his TV show or to fire him from the network, because these networks are scary. They'll dump you over any allegation, even if it's unproven. Even one allegation will get you fired. Now we got 10, right? It would be easy. It would be very easy to do. And so what I'm saying is that, we should pursue this, right? We should look into, mistreatment of anybody, especially for women, because women are not treated well. Women are not respected the way they should be in our society. But right now, it feels like the victims are not just the women. You know, in fact, a lot of these cases, y'all don't even know who the victim is and who the perpetrator is. Y'all think the perpetrator is the victim and that the victim's the perpetrator, and then you end up with a situation like University of Virginia. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that crazy stuff where this girl, a mentally ill college student, fabricated a gigantic illusion of being raped at a frat party, and she named the fraternity and and all this other stuff, and they wrote a big expose about it, a long article on Rolling Stone magazine, a sexual assault at the University of Virginia campus. I think it was 2,000-word article about this elaborate assault with details and what happened that night and all these terrible things that were done to her. And the police, and so the first thing the university did was they were like, oh my God, this is an outrage. And the students were outraged. Everybody starts protesting. They go to the chancellor, you've got to do something. The chancellor shuts down the fraternity. The guys in the fraternity get kicked out of school. The guys who were named in this alleged sexual assault, they're apologizing. I think the president resigned, if I'm not mistaken. All these things happen. And then somebody in the police department said, well, we should get involved. If there was rape happening on this campus, we should go and find out who did it and make sure somebody gets arrested. So they go and do the investigation, and they find out that on the alleged weekend that she said all this happened, this fraternity didn't even have a party in their frat house. They find out that there were tons of inconsistencies in the person's story. They find out that all of it was pretty much made up, that she literally had played a movie in front of this journalist, this fake journalist, and this journalist wrote it all down and did not corroborate a single thing. And so they come back and say, there's a problem here. This doesn't add up. We want to support the cause and we want to get her, the protection and support she needs. But this doesn't, we can't find any evidence that any of this even happened. And then they go find out that the journalist who wrote the story didn't even talk to the men who were accused of rape. So here you have the most damning allegation that a man can receive being hurled out by this poor student who's mentally ill, apparently, and they don't even take the time to go talk to them and say, she said you raped her on February 10th. Did you rape her? You don't even do that. So that's the world that you live in. I don't care if you like what I'm saying or not. I don't care if people agree or disagree. You can't defend that. You can't defend that. Don't even try, because if you try to defend it, I'm gonna make you look stupid. I have a PhD and you don't. So don't try to defend a lie when I have the truth on my side and I'm smarter than you. Seriously, don't. Just don't. It's stupid. It's stupid. Be fair. Find proof. Get evidence. If you do that, then everything's on your side. Truth is on your side. The world is on your side. God is on your side, and I'm gonna be on your side. I'm gonna support you. But if you ain't got no proof, then just stop it. Stop it. So anyway, with this Cosby situation, I'm gonna tell you what I think is gonna happen. I think that Cosby is going to be acquitted. I think he's either going to get an acquittal or another hung jury. That I don't think they're going to re-prosecute the case. I think that they've made them look crazy. Because one, you got this witness who's saying, "Look, she told me she made it all up." And it's that y'all believe in anything that a woman says in court, then I'm a woman. Why can't I? Y'all can't believe me. And the lady's got a better track record than Andrea Constand. She's got more credibility than the accuser. She's got this 31-year track record of being a consistent, reliable, lovable employee at Temple University. So why would she lie? She's never gone to court for lying before. She's never done anything like that in the past. So she's probably not lying now. Then on top of that, you had last week. Remember that? Y'all remember what happened last week? When Janice Dickerson, the woman I knew, I didn't believe her from the jump. She comes out, they break her down on the stand and get her to basically admit that she was making stories up so she could sell books. Because guess what? She needed money. Money is the motive. Remember I told you, money's the motive. Follow them. When you got this much, here's an experiment I think that could be done that would be quite fascinating in this case. I would love to see what would happen in all of these Cosby allegations if they said, Lay out your information. We will pursue justice, but you will not be compensated financially in any way. I would love to see what would happen if they took the money and took the money off the table. If they just said, "There's no, we do not want." It's like the NCAA. You know how they say we don't want to taint college athletes, so we don't pay them. We keep them, we keep the money for ourselves because we want to keep the sport pure, which makes it about as impure as it can possibly be. But that's the kind of bullshit people feed you when they're trying to pimp you, right? So they lie to black people. The NCAA, one of the most corrupt, racist organizations in the history of America, steals money from black people to the tune of about $1 billion a year. They take $1 billion a year from black people and black folks because we can't focus long enough to protest anything. We don't really say anything, but that's how they rob you. So they claim, well, in order to maintain the integrity of the sport, we don't think athletes should be compensated. But yet that same guy who just said that is making $1.5 million a year for not even doing any work, for not even getting on the court. It's insanity. But anyway, what if they did that now? What if they said, we want to do like the NCAA? We want to make sure there's integrity in this. We don't want anybody to have the wrong motivations, because we know that while many of you may be telling the truth, there are probably a few of you in here who may be motivated by money. I mean, after all, there are some of you who, claim that Cosby assaulted you, but for the next 10 years, you let Cosby pay your college tuition and you went to visit him 18 times. So, while we certainly empathize with what you might have gone through, we certainly don't want you to have to experience that kind of trauma. The fact that you have no proof, and the fact that you obviously were comfortable enough to go see him 18 more times, and the fact that you took money from him, that disturbs us. That makes us feel like the motivations may not be right. There may be a motive to commit a crime, and the crime could be a false accusation against another human being. That's a crime too. We forget that that's a crime, but that is a crime. So we don't want you to risk being prosecuted. We don't want you to go to prison because you're addicted to money or you're addicted to cocaine and meth and you need to get that money to buy more meth. We're not going to even put you in that position. So to make sure that we preserve the integrity of the process, we are not going to compensate anybody who makes any of these allegations. I bet you if they said that, I bet if they took the money off the table, at least 70% of these allegations would disappear. 70%. Now, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem for Cosby. You still got that 30%. Because let's just be clear, Bill, I am not doing this video to defend you because I do think that you hurt people. I really do. Starting with your lovely wife. What you did to that woman, what you put her through, it just makes me so sad. Camille Cosby held it down. Camille Cosby she was a lot like Felicia Rashad. Just classy, dignified, intelligent, respectable. She didn't, she was loyal to a man, probably to a fault. Some would say that, or you could say she was just loyal. I don't know how you want to look at it, but now she's humiliated. Now people are looking at her like, wait, you're married to a rapist. Look at what your husband did to you. You look stupid. And I don't think she looks stupid at all. But people can be harsh, and and that's the part. That's where my heart goes out, because she didn't deserve all that. She didn't ask for any of that. But at the same time, she did choose to marry him, and she chose to go the direction she went. Right. So there's that trade-off. That's why when I talk to young girls about trying to get with these men that have power and money and celebrity and fame, just make sure you're kind of ready for what might come with that. There's a lot of temptation that comes with that. There's a lot of women literally throwing their panties at your man everywhere he goes. And some men have a hard time processing that. Some men get carried away. Tiger Woods got carried away. I mean, he's sleeping with porn stars without a condom. My God. Kobe Bryant was sleeping with a girl that he met 45 minutes earlier with no condom. So but I can't talk young women out of being attracted to powerful, successful, famous men. That's what people like. That's what people are attracted to. But I can just say that sometimes you might get what you want, but it may not be what you need, and it may be the worst thing that ever happened to you in your life. So just be thoughtful about who you spend your time with. So Camille did choose part of her situation. She chose that part, but I don't think she signed up for all of this. I think all of this is embarrassing to the family. I can't, it would be hurtful to have a dad who is that respected, where he's meeting with presidents and kings and emperors and all these people all around the world and billionaires, and he's getting all this respect. And then to have it end like this, That's very hurtful. I mean, I imagine a few of his relatives probably need a therapist as they go through this. So, so I do think Cosby's hurt a lot of people. I think I think some of these victims, I do believe some of them are telling the truth. But unfortunately, what's going to happen is people aren't going to hear the ones that are telling the truth, because you got some in there that are flat out lying. You got the Janice Dickersons, hooked on drugs, looking for an extra payday, who are just like, well, sign me up. Me too, me too, me too, right? Then you got people like this woman, Andrea Constant, trying to file criminal charges, 15 years after everything's happened and getting $4 million. I mean, it's silly. It's a circus, So I think that the Cosby situation is going to end in either an acquittal or a hung jury. I think at that point, all you can do is let Cosby just get old and die in peace. I mean, the poor man looks like he's on his last legs, and but then again, he made a bed. Whew, that's messy. That's very messy. So anyway, that's it. I'm done talking about Cosby. I'm about to get out of here. Don't forget, I'm in Washington, D.C. this week. I'll be speaking at the Shiloh Baptist Church for the Black Men's Convention tonight at 6 o'clock, which is tonight, Thursday, April 19th. And so if you want to come out, feel free. Blackmensconvention.org. That's the URL, blackmensconvention.org. And then also I'll be in St. Louis Friday and Saturday. You can go to drboycestlouis.com if you want to check it out, or if you want to watch the video of the event after the fact, and as well as the last event we did in Chicago. You can go to abncdigital.com. That's abncdigital.com. The first month is free, so you can watch everything that we have in there for free for the first month. And then after that, the following week, we're going to do a premiere of the movie The Melanin Code, which is a really good movie, which I think you're going to love. And it's and also we're going to show 2 other films. We're going to have panels and screenings, stuff like that. So if you want to come to that, you live in Chicago, go to drboycechicago.com. That's drboycechicago.com. All right. So I'm out of here, guys. You guys have a great day. And if I offended you with anything that I said, then good. Then good. My goal is to make sure that I'm not out here trying to make friends. I'm out here trying to make the truth. But it's my truth, though. And I understand that you may disagree, and that doesn't mean we can't be friends. It just means that, we got to have these conversations, because I don't think anybody in the media is really talking about this in an honest way. People are just kind of floating around the issue. But I say let's get to the heart of the issue, because life is too short for us to waste our time on nonsense. So take care, guys. I'm out of here. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Be good. Peace.